Good morning, Lana Scott Lighthouse. I'm sitting here drinking my coffee. I didn't take my friend Oliver to work. He is such a sweet kid, guys. I wish other people I knew who were in that same age group worked as hard as that young man does, because he works really hard. And he has been just, we have a lot in common because we both have ADHD. And sometimes with him, it almost feels like he's one of my own, because he's more like me than my own kids in some ways. And he's just a blessing to have in my life right now. He's helped, pay for my car. He's just helped to do all kind of things. And I'm just like absolutely thrilled that I have him in my life. So if you have anyone like that has got your back, that has been there for you, that, that sees things a lot like you do, treasure them, because not everybody will. I've had close friends before that we had a lot in common, but me and him have a lot more in common than my kids in some ways. So, but anyway, what I wanted to say was, what is in my coffee? Something in my coffee. Earth. Looks like an ash. So, I've had for the past 2 years, I have had trouble with actually having dreams or remembering my dreams, which is why, and my candle is working. So last night, I went to bed really early because I was tired. Lately, I've been really tired. And remember I told y'all I had that one day that I was off, and I had a little bit of a headache, and I just crawled into bed, and I now feel like something's gone, changed. That was right before the full moon, and it has been, I just physically feel different. So it's a little on the cold side here right now, and the air is super dry, which, by the way, just to let y'all know, a lot of times when you hear me, it is so dry here, guys, that my body's just, at my age, I've been in a moist environment all my life. Mississippi has got a lot of moisture in the air. Here it is so dry. I feel like I can drink a gallon of water and still feel dehydrated because it's dehydrated outside. And then I'm in a tin can. My camper's a tin can. And then I have heat going. Which, as a matter of fact, let me turn the heat off. It takes a second. So, anyway, last night I had 2 dreams. And the first one I think was actually an astral travel. Because in the past I have had where I've had those flying dreams, but not like where you jump off a building and you're literally flying like Superman. It's not like that. But whenever I have an astral dream, when I'm on another place, it feels like, I can feel it in my soul, and it feels like, I'll get a running start in the dream. I'll be running, and then I just, with my mind, just go. And I'm fine, okay? So last night, and for some reason, the environment, because I had a similar dream to this not too long ago, and it was the first one that started off this chain of dreams I've been having. And in this one, I feel like I was in Turkey, because in the first dream and the second dream, there's just a lot of chaos. There's, It looks like the pictures I've seen of Turkey, and I've never been to Turkey in my life. I've never been outside of the United States in my life. So I'm in this dream, and I'll tell y'all why I figured like it was astral. And I'm in a car. I've got a baby in the car, and we're talking a little baby, and there's a group of villagers or community people hauling off of me, and they say is a murderer. I'm hearing them say murderer. Now, mind you, maybe they're talking in Turkey, in the Turkish language, whatever that is. I haven't done no research on that. But they were saying he was a murderer. And for some reason, I have this baby that's related to this man in some way. So I get out of the car. I leave the baby in the car. Guys, when my kids were little, they had to be cleaned up before we went to the store. I never, ever left them in the car. And for some reason, I left this bundle that I thought was a baby in the car, and I went to go, there was like a hospital there or something, and so I went to go find someone to take this baby, and I'm like, but I've got the baby in the car. And so I kept running around trying to find someone to take the baby, and it was just really a trip. And so I'm running around and I can't find no one. I'm like, oh my God, I left the baby in the car. So I'm going back towards the car, And then I'm walking down this hallway, and I look back, and there's this guy with a turban around his head, and he's behind me, and I'm thinking, oh shit. All of a sudden I'm worried about my virtue, okay? So he looks like he's getting ready to grab me. And I start running, and I start trying to do my flying thing. And even in the dream, I heard myself, focus, Lana, focus. Because I knew I had to focus to be able to fly. And all I can do is kind of bunny hop, go a little bit, fall, bunny hop, go, right? So this guy runs up, and he grabs the bottom of my right leg, right above my ankle. And he looked up at me, and he has some kind of a card. I keep seeing visions of people with something on their face. I don't know what that means. And he didn't look like he was going to try to attack my virtue or anything like that. But more it felt like maybe he was trying to keep me from flying. And he knew I could fly. So that, later, I didn't figure that out till later. And when he grabbed me, I woke up. I actually literally checked my ankle to make sure there were no bruises on it. Because I've heard about having dreams where it felt like something has grabbed people or tried to keep them from doing something, and they would literally have a bruise. So I'm going, oh my God, do I have a bruise? And my cat's going, what are you doing? You know, this guy's going, all right, I'm trying to sleep here. So I tried to call my daughter-in-law, and I realized it was 9 o'clock at night here. And in Mississippi, that means it's 11. So she didn't answer. She probably was asleep. And I was just going to tell her, I just had an astral dream. And I know it was an astral dream because I tried to fly. So I know I was there, but it was another dimension. And then this man grabbed me. And like I said, when he looked up at me to try to keep me from flying, he didn't have no malice on his face or nothing. He didn't look like he was trying to hurt me, but I, of course, went into panic mode. And then the dream, focus, Lana, focus, and I'm trying to fly. So that was kind of funny to a certain extent, but I was doing it out of fear. Maybe that's why I couldn't fly. So I'm going, okay, that was just a really weird dream. So then I went back to sleep, and I woke up at 3 o'clock this morning, and I decided I was going to go back to sleep, because sometimes I get up really early, guys. Sometimes I get up around 4, and I just watch videos, watch my YouTube, I look at some of my favorite tarot readers if I've missed a reading or something, because there's 3 of them that I watch all the time, and that's Eve. Well, there's 4 now, and they're all telling me the same thing. Wrestling Around, Cindy at Awakening to Spirit, San at San Tarot, my ultimate favorite. She's why I've done a lot of the moves and things I've done over the past 2 years. And Eve at Everlong Mystic. Love you, Eve. So I went back to sleep, and this time I had a dream that I was pregnant. And some people were trying to help me move. And I'm going, and in the dream, I wasn't thinking about it. But guys, I went through menopause a long time ago. There's no way I'm going to get pregnant, okay? So, and then me and these people got in this car with this guy, and we were going to drive somewhere. And they were trying to help me move. And then the guy that was driving the car, at one point, we were speeding down the road, and I think he tried to drive into the building. I don't know. Anyway, it was just really weird. So then we're sitting there, and people are moving around in it, and I really can't see the faces of these people. The only one I can see is the driver, and he's talking to a guy, and the guy says something about being pregnant. And I'm looking down at my belly thinking, okay, he's talking about you. And the guy with the hair, long blonde hair, says, long brownish, dirty brown, I don't even know, guys. But he turns around and goes, no, you're not. So this guy was going to say something negative to me. And then I heard the 2 women in the background talking, and they were talking about the guy that I had, because when Will passed away, for a whole year I went through, just like anyone that's lost a loved one. There was a lot of tears, there was a lot of gnashing of teeth, and a lot of, why did you leave me? All the things that we go through when somebody passes away that we love. And I had a short fling with a guy much younger than me who chased me for 4 months. And all my girlfriends were going, who cares if he's younger than you? Go have some fun, So after 4 months, he wore me down. And then we had a 4-month-long relationship that really was just a fling, guys. And I still to this day, I'm kind of embarrassed about it. My girlfriend's boyfriend at the time was calling me Stella. He's like, Stella got her groove back. So if you've ever seen that movie, She's way older than the guy she's dating. Even his mother's going, what are you doing? And she's like, what's the age got to do with him? Me, I had a big issue with the age because he was way younger. We're not going to go there. But he chased me. I didn't chase him. He chased me for 4 months. And then he called me for like 3 or 4 months. And when I said, well, where's this relationship going? So I'm thinking, I'm old enough to be your grandmother. And he decided to move on because I knew he would. I didn't even cry, guys. And I think about him. But in the dream, that's who I was pregnant by. So I think I revisited the past and went for a short time because I realized finally the guy driving the car, the long hair, when he had hair, because right now he doesn't, this guy's dad has no hair. That's what I was dreaming about. And I think I for a moment there checked into what he was going through with, because he has 1 child, this guy does. And she was a lot older than him as well. And she had 3 other kids from what I understand. So he just liked older women. So I think for a little while there, I, in the dream, went into his past for some reason, which is something that's never happened. But just because of the people in the dream, things that were said, and there were some other things too, but I can't explain it all. They were just little snatches and pieces. I think that for a while there, I was just being a voyeur into his world from the past. Because, time is not linear. Baba at Baba Jolie did a reading one time that I caught it at the beginning, and she was talking about something that when she first started the video, I had went to go look at my security camera and my TV where I had my security camera hooked up to, and a minute later I hear her describing exactly what I just looked at, but she had uploaded that video 3 days before, and that's when I realized, and it came home to me, time is not linear. Okay, just like I've told y'all before. If you've ever seen that movie, Adam Sandler, with Reese Witherspoon, who plays his mother as an angel, and she's up in the sky, she's looking down on the world, right? And, time's not linear. Just like that near-death experience video I watched that time, where the lady passed away, or temporarily passed away, and she said when she was looking, she could see all the way around her. Time's not linear, guys. It's only linear to us because sunrise, sunset. We're going forward. But time's not linear. So, rather you believe in, I think it's called string theory, where all the universes are next to each other, which, that makes sense to me. I don't know if it makes sense to you, but I do know time is not linear because I have experienced it by that video that proved it to me. And I think the universe wanted me to see that. So, yeah, guys, I firmly believe you can have dreams going back in the past. You can maybe, even if you don't, and I didn't do it intentionally, I think you can go back into the past and peek in on what someone went through. I definitely know you can go to other universes because I still felt that place was Turkey on an astral level. And it just makes me think about that. So I want you to think about that. Think about if you've had a dream or an experience in a half awake, half sleep. Like here lately, right before I go to sleep, that's when I've been hearing voices, seeing pictures of these people I've seen one that I think was alive, but I've seen a couple that they were just snapshots. And I'm convinced they were showing the angels, my subconscious, my soul, higher self was showing me a picture someone passed on that at some point is going to have an effect on my life. Okay? So I just want y'all to be aware of that. If you have any of that kind of stuff, write it down, think about it, talk about it, because it means something to you. So that's what I wanted to talk about this morning. And I'm going to sit here and finish drinking my coffee, then I'm going to go drink a gallon of water because I'm feeling dehydrated this morning. And guys, I'm trying to quit smoking. I got my patch on. So I'm trying to quit smoking. And it's times like this I just want to smoke a cigarette, especially when I'm drinking my coffee. So that's what I wanted to talk about this morning, in hopes that if some of you others with going through ascension right now, if you are having any of that stuff happen, stop and try to figure out what it means. I think that the universe, my higher self, whatever, wanted to reprove to me again that time is not linear, that you can do something on the astral level, that you can go into the past to peek in on somebody, either as yourself or maybe even your higher self can jump into the body of somebody in the past just to get a glimpse of what was going on at that time. So, and I don't know why I had the dream about who I now think was the young man's baby mama, And then the dream before that has something to do with the baby. And maybe the universe is telling me I'm trying to birth something. And I did get Burka in one of those readings here recently. I did a little private reading for myself that I didn't share with you guys where Burka came up. So rather it's an idea trying to burst, a new idea trying to burst forth or whatever. I just know I haven't figured it out yet, but it has meaning. So if you have some things happen that you haven't figured out what they mean yet, maybe journal them, write down about them. I used to have a little book. I still have it around here somewhere where I used to write down my dreams every day. And it was kind of surprising to me, even if the dream didn't come true and it was a psychic dream, later, some point in the dream would come forth in the future, later on down the line, that I would go, oh, that's like that dream. And I would go, oh, now I know, And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. So I hope this helps somebody. Like, subscribe, and share. I'm going to try to talk to you guys more often like this too. I'm still going to do readings, but all of us are on our own healing journey and our own soul's path. Even if you have a twin or a triplet, everything that you go through will be different than closest family members, your spouse, your kids, your parents. We are all on our own journey and doing things in our own way. There is nobody else like you. There's definitely nobody else like me. So guys, really think about that. So I hope everyone has a great day. If a little reading, I've got to go to work today, but if anything pops up that I need to do a reading on, or the angels go, hey, Lana, they need to know this, I will do a reading for you guys. That's my message for today. That's my talking to my audience today, however you want to look at it. I love all you guys. Be a light in the darkness. If you can help someone, if you go down in the trenches, if you see somebody that's homeless, that they need a, you want to stop at the local McDonald's and bring them a meal, there's a lot of people out there suffering right now. Lana Scott, Lighthouse.